It's a task that barely crosses most Londoners' minds, but it's crucial to the functioning of this and every other big city in the industrialised world. Well before 5 o'clock each morning, Guadalupe Noriques and thousands of other cleaners, most of them immigrants, get up and make their way to the capital's offices, shops and hotels to make them ready for the new day. Yet the question is why working life for Guadalupe and others undertaking this vital task is so precarious.
Nosotros somos un número, el número del National Insura, un número. Nosotros servimos solo para trabajar. No somos tratados con consideración ni con estima, no somos.
Although UK workers theoretically have strong protections, many of the 700,000 people employed as cleaners describe a culture of long hours, low pay, and a constant fear of arbitrary dismissal. The problem is particularly acute for those like Guadalupe who have worked for outsourced cleaning contractors. Guadalupe, who's originally from Ecuador but now a Spanish citizen, says she lives in fear of losing her job.
No nos podemos dar el lujo de quedarnos en casa enfermos, si es que se le puede llamar lujo, porque no ganamos. Yo he visto compañeros enfermos arrastrando las piernas, trabajando porque no tenemos el derecho de baja por enfermedad. Y eso existe.
Guadalupe's frustrations include the short hours per day she works at each job.
Se madruga mucho, unos madrugan mucho, otros trabajan toda la noche. Y el que tener que madrugar por 2 horas y perder 1 hora de regreso, de ida y otra de regreso, entonces son 4 horas en lo que uno pierde en una madrugada.
Lucila Granada of the Latin American Women's Rights Service, a group that works with the women, says there are too many violations of the employment rights of cleaners, ranging from underpayment to harassment and even violence. The problems extend to similar roles in hospitality and catering.
There are too many violations of employment rights in these sectors, and perhaps the most common one is lack of payment, or underpayment of wages. So we have a lot of women who come to us saying, didn't get paid, and then I was dismissed, and they owe me 2-3 weeks, or at my job, this is an ongoing issue. I'm not paid for, say, extra hours, or they always deduct a few hours every week.
Dalia Quinones Guerrero, originally from Peru but now an Italian citizen, tells a typical story of working for a company that supplied housekeepers to hotels. She says she was paid a fixed rate per room. She would have had to clean 3 rooms an hour to earn the national minimum wage, but 2 proved the maximum possible.
Me sentí desilusionada porque había dado tanto en el trabajo, más que todo mi día de trabajo, prácticamente el día entero era, prácticamente eso era una casa para mí, ya no tenía vida, o sea, no podía respirar, no podía ver la luz del día, sino dentro de la habitación. Me sentí muy desilusionada en ese momento, pero al mismo tiempo pensé que yo soy un ser humano y tengo derecho a afrontar la situación y tengo derecho a ver un contrato en mano.
Although cleaning contractors mostly insist they try hard to be fair, Guadalupe's and Dalia's experience is a common one among the thousands of foreign women working in the sector. That reflects their very vulnerable positions, according to the man who sets strategy for labour enforcement in the UK.
There are a lot of cleaners that are supplied by agencies. Some, of course, will work in lots of different workplaces. The workplaces are themselves oftentimes small, not always, but oftentimes small. And many of the cleaners, probably including the ones that you've spoken to, are immigrants and potentially vulnerable. They won't know their rights, and they probably don't know how to complain.
Part of the answer, according to Lucila Granada, is for the workers who benefit from cleaners' work to be aware of their predicament.
I think that the people that are working in these very nice buildings in the city and in these spaces that are really, you look at them and they're immaculate, they have really good HR processes and great benefits, they don't realize that often in those same spaces there's a parallel workforce that is being exploited. The outsourced workers who will not benefit from those policies and that are being exploited. I think that people don't know that this is that common because it happens overnight or because it happens while they're not around.
So David sees it as vital that enforcement is taken more seriously in the UK's labour market, which is far more flexible than in continental European rivals.
You can only make sure that the flexible labour market works properly if you do enforce the minimum standards. I mean, the flexible labour market may mean the vulnerable workers get very badly treated. Well, they shouldn't be. And we've got to make sure that those people are properly protected and we have the resources, the penalties, the compliance to ensure that they get their just rewards.
For the moment, however, most people involved believe labour inspectors have far too few resources to tackle the problem effectively. That leaves the women themselves as some of the most powerful voices for change. An increasing number are organising and protesting. They hope that might finally mean London office workers can sit at their desks knowing that those who cleaned them did so on reasonable terms.
Queremos que cambie la forma del trabajo. Tenemos muy pocas horas continuas, donde la mitad de nuestra vida la dejamos en el trabajo y en el transporte. ¿Qué más queremos? Que seamos tratados como personas, que tengamos una baja de salud, porque somos humanos. Buen día.